I run a company called Enwave Energy Corporation. We're North America's second or third largest district energy company. We generate thermal energy at centralized plants and distribute it to 153 buildings in downtown Toronto. Most of the signature buildings in Toronto that you know of, First Canadian Place, Scotia Plaza, the Eaton Centre, you name it, they're our customers. They have no boilers, they have no chillers in their basement. They get central heating and cooling. They get their cooling from the lake. We built a project in 2004 that has been recognized around the world by environmentalists, by the Clinton Foundation, by the Sierra Club. We are touted as environmental leaders in Toronto because of our project that is called Deep Lake Water Cooling. It was an idea that germinated back in the 1980s by a guy named Bob Tamlin, who's passed away, and by a group of visionaries that really embraced the environmental movement in the 1980s in Toronto, that included Richard Gilbert, Jack Layton, Bob Tamlin, Kevin Loughborough, a lot of other really visionary people who had this idea that if we tapped into the lake, we could get cooling from the lake to provide air conditioning for buildings in Toronto and turn off chillers that use CFCs that contaminate the environment and achieve a more environmentally friendly solution. Equally as impressive back then was a guy named Ray Bregner. He was a commissioner of works in the city of Toronto, a visionary. And his idea was, in the 1970s, he said, you know, if we build a refuse-fired steam plant in the old Ontario power generation facility in the Portlands, we could take care of our garbage problem in 1976 and then use the thermal energy to provide heating to all the buildings in downtown Toronto. And as a result of that guy's vision, this company called Toronto District Heating Corporation was created. And district energy became a reality in downtown Toronto at the cost of about $17 million that the City of Toronto spent between 1976 and 1980 and created a company called Toronto District Heating Corporation. That company is a predecessor to our company. My claim to fame is that in 1998-99, I was the chairman of that company, and I put together a plan that privatized it and created Enwave Energy Corporation. But you know, a saying comes to mind that I think about that says, you know you're getting old when you spend more time thinking and reminiscing about days gone by than dreaming about the future. And right now, all I can think of is, wow, what a bunch of visionary people we had in the 1980s. Bob Tamlin thinking that we can tap into the lake and cool buildings in downtown Toronto. People thought he was a whack job. They thought, this guy's crazy. Like, tap into the lake to cool buildings in downtown Toronto? Well, I can tell you right now that 63 buildings in downtown Toronto, 25 million square feet, get all of their air conditioning from Lake Ontario, and we get it at 95% less electricity usage than conventional cooling. But on the heating side, we have a problem. We have a problem that I call energy complacency. And energy complacency sets in because all of a sudden we look at ourselves as a country that's rich in natural gas and fuel, and we say, why should we go the extra step? Why should we bother being creative and thinking of these out-of-the-box ideas like energy from waste, like a great idea that maybe that's a topic for a different day that Terry and Richard have that we're trying to pursue, and other ideas. And I'm here to say that we have to do that. We have no choice but to abandon our energy complacency and begin to look at ideas like energy from waste and basically go back to the vision that this guy Ray Bregner and others like Ray Bregner had in 1976 and make that a reality in Toronto, just like we did with Deep Lake Water Cooling. And Enwave Energy Corporation, our district energy company, the third largest in North America, is going to be the key to make that a success. So I look forward to hearing your questions and comments.
Just a quick comment.
Just don't worry.
Go ahead. Do you want to? We only have one mic today, so I apologize.
Okay, my name is Armando Sanchez. I work for the energy from waste facility for the last 9 years until last year. I am surprised that you mentioned examples in Europe and the US and even British Columbia, but you didn't mention the energy from waste facility in Brampton. It has been operating for more than 20 years, in 1992, and as I said, I worked for that energy from waste facility, actually the holding company, which was Algonquin Power until last year, and now is UPAC, the owner. And I was responsible for all the environmental performance, compliance, permitting, and everything, and reporting with the Ministry of the Environment. So yeah,
you're right. You know it's there.
So yeah, so if there is time, I can share with you all the the key issues regarding emissions and everything, because I was the environmental engineer responsible for that facility.
Gotta watch out on that. Awesome. Anyone like to make a comment?
I think all of us up here know about, I think it was cited almost 20 years ago, I can't remember the name of it originally, it was something.
Resource recovery.
It's a wonderful facility. It's a mass burn facility, and it does produce a certain amount of electricity.
Yes. 160,000 tons per year. That is the capacity.
What is the electrical output?
Yeah. What's the capacity?
What's the
The
electricity?
output is 9
Is it
megawatts.
up to 9?
Yeah.
Is it still operating today?
Of course, it's still operating and will be operating for.
And you're selling to the grid. You're selling power directly to the grid.
Yes.
We got a quick two-hander over here.
Okay. I have a supplemental directly related to this gentleman's question. We now have Clarington that came online days ago, or months ago, weeks ago, I mean, I don't know how long.
Touché.
Now we have 2. How many more do we need? Give us the projection about how many we need altogether in the GTA.
I'd like to take a shot at that.
Yeah, great question.
The challenge we have is that we keep on, the people outside of the city of Toronto have been able to overcome the political correctness and are prepared to have the debate that we're not prepared to have in the city of Toronto. And the fact of the matter remains, without being Toronto-centric, and without saying that life doesn't exist outside the shadow of the CN Tower, the fact of the matter is that until we can get that happening in a scale the size of Toronto, it doesn't matter. I'm just being honest. What we have here in Toronto is a huge need for energy efficiency, and we have an opportunity here to create something meaningful. And until we can get the scale of the City of Toronto involved, when you start doing 9 megawatts, when you look at the power needs of the province of Ontario, what are we at, 27,000? 27,000 megawatts, and you're talking 9, with all due respect to Brampton, you're talking 9. I mean, deep lake water cooling is a $250 million project, and it displaces 60 megawatts. What we're talking about doing with energy from waste in downtown Toronto is a project that's going to displace, 100 or 1,000 megawatts. That's meaningful. That's a meaningful change. That's making a change that makes a change.